Hi everyone, Fenris Models here, and today we're going to take a look at the U-2A Dragon Lady from HobbyBoss in 1/72nd scale. Now, as you can see, this is a HobbyBoss kit. It is not one of their easy assembly kits as I've done before on the channel. This is one of their regular range kits, and again, of the U-2A Dragon Lady. Not exactly a plane I've ever necessarily planned to build, but sometimes when you're like looking through kits, seeing what all there is, and for some reason something just strikes you as, hey, you know what, I really want to build that. And that was kind of the case with this one. So I picked it up online. I forget how much I grabbed it for. I want to say something like $10, maybe. But yeah, how about we go ahead and crack this box on open and let's take a look at what's inside. Alright, so there we go. We have 4 sprues, 2 additional clear sprues, our instructions, color callouts, and decals. So how about we go ahead and take a look at the instructions. So here we initially have our please read beforehand little warnings. You know, here are the tools recommended. Make sure to be careful. Don't cut off your fingers. Don't stab yourself, etc. So on and so forth. All of our icons and what they mean that we'll find throughout the build as well. And on the inside, we have a layout of all of our parts. As I said, 4 sprues and 2 clear. So we start, as most do, with taking care of the cockpit and sandwiching it in between the 2 pieces of the fuselage. It does look like we have a relatively flat, we'll take a look at the part, but it looks like it's going to be a relatively flat control panel that just uses a decal for the details, which is fine. And then attaching the wings and the tail and some undercarriage bits. We'll see how hard it is to modify this, because again, I like to have my stuff hanging, so we'll see if it's going to be easy to modify or not here in a minute. Putting on those landing gear bay doors. There we go. That was a little bit of a tongue tire. It looks like they're just held on by some little flaps, so hopefully that'll be easy enough to just snip away and glue in place, but we'll see. As well as our air brakes. I said air brakes, the flaps that help slow it down. They're not actually air brakes, but you know what I mean. Next up, we got some more undercarriage bits going on. And then finally, closing up the canopy. So yeah, that's a pretty easy, pretty quick build. Not too much to it. Now our schemes. There are 3 whole schemes included in this. We have the number 66701. Doesn't actually say anything more than that. But it's just in this silver and has white on top with a black nose. A little bit of a basic color scheme. Scheme 2 is similar, but it has a bunch of orange on it, which is definitely different. Very unique for a stealth reconnaissance plane, right? To have some bright orange on it, but you know. And then finally the NACA version with the yellow band on the tail. I'm not sure which I'm going to go for. I'm kind of leaning towards the orange just because it's different, it's unique, and I'd like to have some more color up with all my stuff, so I may go with that one, I think, but we'll see. Let me know in the comments below which you'd like to see, and you know, if there's an overwhelming majority for one or the other, we will just do that one. And then we have the decal sheet, and I'm not gonna fully remove the tape yet, but we're gonna just go ahead and take a look. And the decals feel pretty good. I found that HobbyBoss decals to be actually rather good, as long as it's not, you know, like a super old kit. I find them to be on par with things like Airfix. Once Airfix, you know, moved over to Cartograph, it's on par with that. So it's not, I wouldn't necessarily say that, oh, these are the best decals ever, but they're surprisingly good. So we'll see if these hold up, but I think that they will. And now on to the parts. So to start with, we have sprue D, and I believe these are in backwards order, so we're going to go D, C, B, A. But sprue D, we have our fuselage halves here, and some of our gear bays. And it looks like, yeah, I think that they'll be pretty easy to modify to get closed, so we'll see. But and then it's a little bit washed out, but you can see that there are some panel lines. The one thing I will say about HobbyBoss kits, their panel lines are probably closer to what they should actually be, insofar as depth goes. But for me personally, I like them a little deeper. I want them a little more exaggerated because I want to be able to see them. I know that you're not really necessarily supposed to be able to see them, you know, at the scale, but it's not as interesting. You know, there's a stylistic choice going on there. There's some visual interest going on, and I just kind of wish they were deeper. If I had a scribing tool, I may scribe them deeper, but we'll see how it goes. And then here we have Sprue C with our landing gear and some more of the bays there. Some cockpit parts. And sure enough, yep, there is no detail on that console, so we'll have to rely on the decal, I think. But the parts are all nice and clear. I'm not really seeing any flash. There's no excess plastic, so that's good. And now Sprue B with the wing. I think these are the bottom halves of the wing and the rest of the cockpit there. And then Sprue A with the top halves. And some kind of cover, I'm not sure, that might go over the engines on the side. I'm not 100% sure. The U-2 is not a plane I'm super familiar with, so. And then finally we have two clear sprues. So the first one has some lights lenses and the front of the cockpit. And those are pretty well raised, so I'll make an easy job out of masking the canopy. Or if you wanted to just mask the whole thing and then come back and paint it with a paintbrush and use, you know, a toothpick to kind of clean it up. These are raised enough to make that. Let's see if I can get this to show how far up they are. I don't know if you can fully see it or not, but they're pretty well raised, so which is good. And then the back half of the canopy glass. And one thing I appreciate, they have fogged up most of it. All of this fogged up spot will be white. And that is that little kind of white part that was in the paint call out. So the fact that they've roughed it up to, you know, give the paint something to kind of grip to, I very much appreciate. So yeah, that was a quick look at HobbyBoss's U-2A Dragon Lady in 1/72nd scale. I'm looking forward to this kit. In fact, I think as soon as I'm done recording and editing the video, I will probably be starting in on it. So hopefully, you know, depending on how things go, Halloween's coming up, you know, got some family stuff going on, but depending, it might be next week's video. We'll just have to see, because again, this is a very quick, simple little build. I don't think it's going to take very much time to do up, and I'm kind of excited to do it up as well. So keep an eye out here sometime soon. It'll be dropping at the very least, so if not next week, then following week. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you thought of this. If you think this is a kit that you might be interested in grabbing yourself. Yeah, and in the meantime, stay safe and keep modeling. Thank you to my gift set tiered patron Calibear and to all of my starter set patrons. Your support means the world to me.